Today's topic is urinary catheterization, and I have forwarded this presentation for review to Dr. Manish Khattar, who is the SR Urology in AIMS. Urinary catheterization simply means putting a hollow tube through the urethra or anterior abdominal wall into the bladder. Urinary catheterization is among the most ancient medical devices in the historical record, and the ancient book Canon of Medicine also mention urethral catheterization as the means to deliver intravesical therapy. Earlier catheters were not made of rubber or plastic, they were made of bronze, copper or other metals. Self-retaining balloon catheter was introduced in the 20th century by Foley. What are the indications for urinary catheterization are for bladder drainage or instillation of diagnostic or therapeutic agents into the bladder. For the bladder is drainage for relief of acute or chronic urinary retention in cases of BPH or neurogenic bladder dysfunction, for monitoring urinary output in ICU settings, and bladder drainage is also required in the cases of perioperative period. Sometimes in the cases of lower urinary tract surgery or trauma, bladder drainage is also required. In the cases of MCU or voiding cystoscopy, the bladder is filled with contrast agent. Then the requirement is for voiding cystoscopy. In the cases of bladder cancer or the mitomycin C and VCG installation is also done through bladder or urinary catheterization. To understand the urinary catheter, first we have to look for size of catheter. Size of catheter is denoted in French gauge, and it denotes the outer circumference of the catheter. Here it is lumen, and if you are saying it is 8 French Follies, then it will show the outer circumference of the catheter. And 1 French is equal to 1 by 3 millimeter or 0.33 millimeter. For example, 18 French Follies catheter will have outer circumference of 6 millimeter. 18 French, 18 divided by 3, it is 6 millimeter. Catheters are being selected according to purpose and age of the patient. Here it is your 3-way Follies, this is 2-way Follies, and this is single lumen Follies catheter. And for adults, the common size is 10 to 14, and I will discuss about the size later. The classification, which is based on the mechanism, is they can be of 3 types: urethral catheters, suprapubic catheters, and external catheters, also known as condom catheters. Urethral catheters can be indwelling or intermittent type. Indwelling catheters are fixed to the patient or bedside for longer duration. And commonly known as Foley's catheter. While the short-term or intermittent catheters are used temporarily for shorter duration. And the technique to use intermittent catheter is known as clean intermittent catheterization. Most of these patients have neurological conditions like stroke, multiple sclerosis, and Parkinson's disease. Suprapubic catheters are placed suprapubically by urologist or intervention radiologist. In cases of difficult urethral catheterization, external or condom catheters are used in the men who don't have urinary retention problem but serious functional or mental disabilities such as dementia, to avoid bed wetting. The classification, which is based on the catheter material, The urinary catheters can be of three types: simple rubber catheters, plastic catheters, and silicone made catheters. Simple rubber catheters are made of red rubber. They are inexpensive and most commonly used. But latex or red rubber can cause urethral inflammation and crusting on the surface of catheter. So they are used for shorter duration. It has been seen that after 1 week there is a risk of bacteria in more than 50% cases. Plastic catheters, for example, are the infant feeding tube, and they are used in infant and pediatric population. The use of infant feeding tube for urinary catheterization should be discouraged because they are stiff and they are more in the length which is required, so that can be source of the infection or other complications. The most preferred catheters are silicone made catheters, and they can be used more than 1 month. They are expensive and most effective. Foley's catheter were designed by a surgeon, Frederick Foley. Foley's catheters are basically of two types: double lumen catheters and triple lumen or three-way catheters. Double lumen catheter can be of two types: elbowed catheter and counsel tip catheters. Elbowed catheter has angle of 45 degree at the tip that can be used for the patients of BPH, and the counsel tip catheter can be progressed over a guide wire. Three-way or three lumen Foleys have three lumens: one for balloon inflation, second for urine drainage, third for irrigation. And bladder irrigation is needed in the cases of bladder surgery or clot formation into the bladder. The basic structure of Foley is that there is main lumen and there is a side lumen. Side lumen opens into the bulb, and the main lumen has a urine drainage port externally, and the side lumen has balloon port externally, and the capacity of balloon is written over balloon port. This part lies inside the bladder and this part lies outside the urethra. The size of Foley's catheters are color coded, and in the adults generally 14 to 16 French or 10 to 16 French catheter are used. In patients of BPH, larger catheter 18 French are preferred because they are more stiff and can be negotiated over the enlarged prostate or beyond the enlarged prostate. And larger size catheters are preferred for drainage of hematuria or bladder clots, may be made of rubber or silicone. The mnemonic here is FOLEYGOREY 14, 16, 18 and 20. Green is 14, orange is 16, red is 18 and yellow is 20. 14, 16, 18, 20, GOREY, FOLEY. The procedure of male urethral catheterization: we have to select the catheter first, hand wash and wear gloves, clean the genitalia with soapy antiseptic like betadine, and we have to insert the lignocaine jelly till posterior urethra and leave the penis clean for several minutes so that urethra get anesthetized. If you want to use the both property of lignocaine, lubrication and local anesthetic, then you have to wait for some time before inserting the Foley's catheter. Then we have to attach the urobag with Foley's catheter and insert the catheter till full length into the bladder and feed the balloon according to capacity written on the balloon port. And later we have to watch for urine output. The ideal solution for balloon filling is distilled water, not normal saline, because it can crystallize. And we have to attach the urobag with Foley's catheter initially. Sometimes we forget to connect the urobag with Foley's catheter and it can cause spillage of urine and bad wetting. The procedure of female urinary catheterization is also same as male urinary catheterization, but it is bit easier. We have to select the catheter first, hand wash and wear gloves, clean the genitalia with soapy antibiotic. In the book, no use of lignocaine is written, and ideally that should not be used. We have to attach the urobag with Foley's catheter and insert the catheter into the bladder till 3 to 5 cm and inflate the balloon. And we have to watch for urine output. Sometimes we fail to catheterize the urinary bladder due to poor technique, local anesthetic failure, urethral stricture, or large prostatic middle lobe. How to manage the failed urethral catheterization? By suprapubic cystostomy or urethral instrumentation. Suprapubic cystostomy are done by grossly two ways. Guidance methods or direct method. Guidance method here are being described as 1A, 1B and 1C. 1A is without trocar. 1B is with trocar. And 1C is by LP needle through the Seldinger technique. The technique 1A. This is done by urologist under the USG guidance. We have to first infiltrate the skin with 0.5% lignocaine, and the deeper tissues also infiltrate with 0.5% lignocaine. Then we have to puncture the bladder and aspirate the urine to localize the proper site. Then we have to give a nick at the expected location. This is your Cystofix metallic catheter, and here is your silicone made Foley's balloon. The tip of Foley lies somewhere here. Then we have to insert the metallic catheter through the neck side into the bladder, then separate the Cystofix into two halves, first, second. Then remove the Cystofix and inflate the balloon and connect the urobag. In the technique 1B, we use trocar inside the catheter. Here First, trocar is used. Later, the Foley is inserted. I told you na the technique 1V is with trocar. The technique 1C is suprapubic puncture using a Seldinger technique, which is done by interventional radiologist. This is your LP needle and here is your stellate. We have to puncture the bladder first with the stellate or lumbar puncture needle, then remove the stellate and insert the guide wire through the LP needle. Then LP needle is also removed and guide wire is kept inside the bladder. Later, the guide wire and dilator, serial dilators are passed over the guide wire. Initially 6 French, 8 French, 10 French, and later the Foley is rolled over the guide wire and guide wire is removed and the balloon is inflated and aerobic is connected. If you have no ultrasound and these technique or catheters are not available, then suprapubic catheter can be placed into the bladder under the direct vision, giving a incision. The other technique for failed urethral catheterization is urethral instrumentation. In a patient of non-stricture, a urologist can dilate the stricture or can perform optical internal urethrotomy or visual internal urethrotomy inside the OT. How to remove a Foley's catheter? We have to deflate the balloon with maximum capacity and pull gently. How to manage a burning sensation at the tip of urethra? We have to apply Lignocaine jelly at the tip of the urethra. Sometimes we fail to remove the Foley's catheter. Reasons behind the failure to remove the Foley's catheters are incrustation over the catheter, entrapment by sutures, and inability to disengage or deflate the returning balloon. This might be due to faulty valve, inflection channel blockage, or crystallization within the balloon due to use of sodium chloride. How to step by troubleshoot this problem? First step is gentle traction onto the catheter. After ensuring you have aspirated the complete volume of inflated balloon. Next step is place another 1 to 2 ml of the fluid into the bladder to ensure normal balloon counter. Third step is cut the inflation port. You have to cut the inflation port. Next step is, after cutting the inflation port, if you are not able to remove the Foley's catheter, insert a steel wire into the lumen of inflation port. Even if you are still not able to remove the Foley's catheter, then under the USG guidance, we have to puncture the balloon or look for reason behind entrapment. The references for this topic are from uptodate.com and 27th edition of Bailey and Love's Short Practice of Surgery book. Thank you.